In this video, we're going to talk about something very special. What men that women can't resist actually have. And let me say this from the start, this list has nothing to do with height, money, or looks. These are qualities built from the inside out. And every single one of them can be learned. We're going to cover 10 things. And when this video is over, you'll understand why some men feel so different. Are you ready? Let's get into it then. 1. Self-confidence. When most people hear self-confidence, they think of the wrong thing. Speaking loudly, constantly putting yourself in the spotlight, drawing all the attention when you walk into a room. No. Real self-confidence looks like the exact opposite of that. When I understood this, a lot of things changed in my life. Real self-confidence is being able to exist without needing other people's approval. Even if someone doesn't like you, even if some things go wrong, even if you don't get the result you expected, being able to feel solid ground beneath you. Women sense this difference instantly. The difference between a man who seeks approval and a man who doesn't need it. The first one wears you out, the second one draws you in. So how do we build this? Make small promises and keep them. To yourself. Set a time to wake up in the morning and wake up. Start the exercise you need to do. Write the thing you plan to write. These small consistencies build deep confidence within you over time. Because when you keep the promises you make to yourself, you start to trust yourself. And a person who trusts themselves appears even more trustworthy in the eyes of others. Instead of seeking approval from the outside world, set a standard within yourself. Ask, what kind of person do I want to be? And start acting like that person, a little more every day. 2. Emotional control. This is in my opinion the least understood but most impactful quality. Emotional control is not being cold or numb. It's not acting as if you don't feel your anger, your disappointment, your jealousy, your fear. That's fake and unsustainable. Emotional control actually means this: you feel, but you don't let your feelings run you. You run your feelings. Think about this. A man who loses control during an argument, shouts, slams doors, says things he didn't want to say. What does the woman across from him feel? Insecurity, unpredictability, maybe fear. Now think of the exact opposite. In the same tense situation, a man who stays calm, listens, thinks before speaking. What does that create in the woman? Trust, a sense of safety. Attraction. When I tried to apply this in my own life, here's what I learned. When a feeling takes hold of you, don't react immediately. Stop, take a breath. Ask yourself, what's the best response I can give to this situation? That small pause can change everything. Being able to stay quiet when you're angry. Not falling apart when you're disappointed. Not unloading a bad day onto everyone around you. These are not weaknesses, they are strength. And women feel that. 3. Patience and resilience. Life doesn't always go the way you planned. We both know that. But some people fall apart at every obstacle. Others keep standing. The second group is far more attractive. I noticed this during my own difficult periods. When things go wrong, when plans fall apart, when people let you down, how you respond determines everything. Both your own life and how others see you. Patience is not passive waiting. It's an active strength. Being able to wait for the right time. Being able to trust the process. Not compromising long-term goals for instant gratification. These require serious inner strength. And resilience is this: you can fall. It happens to everyone. What matters is not how many times you fell, but how many times you got back up. And noticing that with each time you get up, you become a little stronger. Women value this quality enormously, because difficulties in a relationship are inevitable. And knowing that the man beside you won't crumble under those difficulties, that he will endure, that creates a very powerful sense of security. So how do you develop it? Stop jumping away from small difficulties. Expose yourself to uncomfortable situations a little longer. A tough workout, a challenging project, an uncomfortable conversation. Each time, you'll become a little more resilient. 4. Wisdom. Wisdom doesn't come with age. I learned this the hard way. Wisdom comes from learning through experience. And to learn from experience, you first need to look carefully at what you've experienced. To me, a wise man means this: he can distinguish right from wrong. He can think clearly even when emotions are running high. He doesn't compromise long-term values for short-term pleasures. And most importantly, he knows what he doesn't know. That last point is critical. A man who operates in I know everything mode actually knows very little. Truly wise people are the ones who are aware of how little they know. Women feel a wise man. Someone who doesn't panic in a difficult situation but stays calm. Someone who doesn't make hasty decisions but thinks things through. Someone who makes a mistake and accepts it and learns from it. With this man, you feel safe and you also grow. And that combination is very rare. How do you develop it? Read. Read a lot. Not just self-help books, History, psychology, philosophy, biography. Observe people, analyze your own mistakes, and try to learn something every single day. 5. Honesty and reliability. I address these two qualities together because one doesn't mean much without the other. It's possible to be honest but unreliable. You say yes, I'll do it, and then you don't. You're being honest but you're not keeping your word. It's also possible to be reliable but not honest. You don't say the things you need to say, but you keep your commitments. You need both. There was a period in my life when I made too many promises. To make people happy, I said yes, 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 and then I couldn't keep them. That didn't make me honest. Quite the opposite, because people no longer trusted my words. Now I do it differently. I make fewer promises. But for the ones I make, I do everything I can to keep them. And I can say no, comfortably, without apologizing. This transformation changed a lot of things in my life. People now genuinely believe my yes, because they know I'm capable of saying no. Women test reliability over time. Do you do what you say? Do you keep your promises? Are you there in difficult moments? The men who pass these tests build deep trust. And without deep trust, there's no deep relationship. 6. Self-discipline. Self-discipline is, in my opinion, the key to freedom. It sounds contradictory, but it isn't. A person who can master themselves can master their life. They can get up when they need to, stay away from what they don't want, choose what's difficult but right. This person determines their own life. Otherwise, life determines them. I think the best way to develop self-discipline is to start with small things. Making your bed every morning. Doing your workout. Putting down the phone a little longer when you want to put it down. Not eating the sweet when you've decided not to. These small victories accumulate, and every small victory that accumulates increases resistance against bigger challenges too. Women find a self-disciplined man very attractive, because this man acts responsibly toward both himself and the relationship. You can't build a strong relationship with someone who is unplanned, disorganized, approaching everything with whatever happens, happens. But with someone who is self-controlled, has goals, and is consistent, you feel safe and you also feel inspired. 7. Humility. This quality is misunderstood by most men. Humility is not weakness. It's not downplaying your achievements. It's certainly not putting yourself down. Humility is this, being able to carry the qualities you have and the things you've achieved naturally, without exaggerating. Being so certain of your inner confidence that you don't feel the need to seek approval from outside. Think of a man who constantly praises himself, talks about his achievements at every opportunity, always places himself at the center of every conversation. It might seem impressive at first, but it becomes exhausting over time. Because behind this behavior there is usually deep insecurity. Now think of the exact opposite. Someone who has achieved a lot but only talks about it when asked, and simply. Someone who is self-sufficient, who lives their achievements for themselves. This person is far more attractive. I summarize it like this: if you're genuinely valuable, you don't need to keep saying it. People already feel it. 8. Understanding and empathy. I've seen men who are very intelligent, very successful, very charismatic but can't empathize at all. And that one missing quality overshadows all their other strengths. Empathy is being able to step into the world of the person in front of you, genuinely trying to understand what they feel, asking why do they think this way, instead of why are they thinking the wrong way. That's a very important distinction. Women want to be understood. It's a very basic need, and the man who meets this need is rare, because most men act like they're listening but are actually preparing their response. They're not really listening. Really listening means this, being able to silence your own thoughts inside while the other person is talking, trying to hear not just the words but the emotion behind them, and pausing for a moment before responding. This looks simple but very few people do it, and those who do make others feel truly valued. 9. Courage. When most people think about courage, physical things come to mind. Fighting, taking risks, jumping into danger. But in my opinion the most important courage isn't that. The most important courage is this, being able to do what's right even in the face of fear. Saying, I can't bring myself to say no internally but I need to say it. Being able to speak a difficult truth. Being able to take the road others haven't taken. Being able to live by your own values without fearing what others will think. There was a period in my life when I was seeking too much approval. I was making decisions based on what the people around me thought, and it was exhausting, and it was also taking my freedom away. When I started living according to my own values, some people weren't happy. That's hard. But as I pushed through that difficulty, I felt a lightness inside me, a freedom. A courageous man makes a woman feel this. This man stands for what's right, not for what will be approved of. That's reassuring. and attractive. 10. The search for meaning. The last quality is, in my opinion, the deepest one. A man who has a purpose in his life feels different. Someone who knows why he gets up in the morning, who knows where he directs his energy, who isn't just trying to get through the day but trying to build something. This purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to save the world. But it should serve something. A value. A vision. A mission. Here's how I feel about it. A person who has meaning in their life approaches everything differently. Difficulties break them less. Because when you know the why of something, finding the how becomes much easier. Women feel this depth. They don't want to be with someone who only lives for today, who just has fun and moves on, who doesn't think about tomorrow. They want to be with someone who is building something, going somewhere, carrying meaning, because a man with meaning builds a meaningful relationship. Final words. When you look at these 10 qualities, do you notice something? None of them come from birth. They're all built. Through small choices, through decisions made every day, through facing difficulties instead of running from them. And these qualities aren't just for women. They make you a better and stronger person. A better friend, a better employee, a better leader. Which one do you need to work on the most? Write it in the comments. Let's talk. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. See you next time.